Welcome to Quiet Enough to Ride, part of the Beyond the Chutes podcast. I'm Doug Simcox, joined by my partner Sam Swearingen. In this series, we dive into the rodeo mindset, exploring the mental toughness, focus, and resilience it takes to succeed. The lessons we share aren't just for rodeo. They apply to sports, work, and life as well. This is episode 7, The Power of Breathing. Today we're talking about one of the most underrated tools in a competitor's toolbox, your breath. We'll explore how mindful breathing can help you stay calm under pressure, sharpen your focus, and recover quickly after intense moments. Breathing isn't just about staying alive, it's about staying present, staying steady, and staying in control. We'll see how these techniques can improve not only performance in rodeo, but also your ability to handle the challenges life throws your way. Let's get started. This is Quiet Enough to Ride. Welcome to Beyond the Chutes, as presented by Parasite Systems. I'm your host today, Doug Simcox, and I'm coming to you from our recording studios in Taylorsville, Kentucky. Sam, you've already landed in Texas, is that right?
Yep, made it here this afternoon. All is well.
All
Got
is
a little work done. Yep, so it's good.
Okay. And just for our listeners, you left upstate New York, up around Rochester, New York, Leicester, Peffard, New York, and you drove to Sulphur Springs, Texas. So what do you figure total drive hours? In other words, if you just drove straight, what are you figuring?
Well, if you didn't have to fuel up or eat or sleep, it shows like 21 hours.
21. So only a day.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's 24 hours in a day, Sam.
Yeah, less than a day.
Less than a day. So why is this such a thing? Yeah. But the truck run good. You had good conditions all the way in. I knew you were hauling a big load.
Yeah, it was pretty around Buffalo and Erie and Cleveland. It was pretty snowing pretty hard there a few times, but no issues. So it was an uneventful trip. Best kind.
Okay, excellent. Of course, you stopped here at the house. We had an opportunity to catch up. Didn't pull out the microphones, but man, we have been recording a lot. We've been doing a lot of recording, Sam. And you've been in the truck, and man, what a perfect way. I'm hoping it's a perfect way for you to pass a little time and make things roll.
Works great for me.
And let's see, Lauren Kathleen, my wife Lauren, my daughter Kathleen, got back to Billings, Montana today. They had a really nice trip. You know, they were down Hico, Texas, down around Stephenville, Texas. Big run too, right? But
Yeah.
got up. Roads were dry. My daughter Kathleen, she's on Facebook, Sam. I think you're a friend of hers on Facebook. Kathleen Simcox. You ought to check out her page. She's got some beautiful horses. She's got a brand new horse. Let me back up. She just got a horse, as you know, Sam, back from the trainer down in Texas. So a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old gelding. And put up a neat video of her getting on the horse for the first time after the trainer's been working with him for probably about 3 months. So very cool, and she's very excited about the horse.
Great. I'm sure when I talked to Laura and Kathleen was so excited, ready to ride. So and drive her truck. She's just happy.
That's right. Her Ram Dooley. Yeah, and that, you know, it's such a cool truck, and it just makes the traveling a lot easier for me sitting here knowing that they're both out in good equipment.
Yeah.
And the other thing, Sam, I don't know, I've got Google Maps, and on Google Maps you can share your location, or you can share, hey, track me if you want to know where I am, because of the GPS in the phone. And it was so cool. They sent me the link, and I was able to see where they were, so I could check in way, way different, Sam, than the old days when you're making a trip like this and you know, your parents are sitting at the house wondering if you're okay, and why didn't you find a payphone and call us? So way, way different.
It is completely different, you know, and there was so many of us kids that I don't think they worried too much. Well, we'll just replace it, get another one.
Now.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it is so nice to know where they're at and what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you don't hear from them,
Yep.
when you should, then it's even worse.
You bet. You bet.
So.
But the technology, I mean, with the phones and the tracking and everything and the maps so you don't get lost, it's just very, very cool. So today, the first round, Sam, we are deep now into postseason play. National Finals Rodeo first session, or the first performance, opens up tonight. I hope you got your Cowboy Channel subscription paid for.
Sure do.
Okay. So we get to watch that. And also, while you're at the house here, we signed on, went in and created our teams for the Pro Fantasy Rodeo. And you guys can do that out there, profantasyrodeo.com. And last I checked, Sam, because you and I compete against each other, right? Last I checked, hard to believe, but we are exactly tied right now. Same amount of money won for both teams.
Oh, 0.
Okay.
Took me a minute.
Yeah.
Took me a minute.
Well, you've been driving long
better,
miles. I'm trying to, yeah.
Yeah, you better enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So the end of November, all the rodeo associations around have now closed out their year. Of course, we had the Mid-States Finals Rodeo. Eli Hirschberger was there and competed, wins his first Mid-States Rodeo Association Championship in the bronc riding. Congratulations to Eli, one of the Rawhide Rodeo OGs, original gangsters. Have you talked to Eli, Sam?
Yeah, I've talked to him since then. Not a lot, but I think he won the all-around, too.
Okay, that's right. Okay, exactly. So 2 belt buckles, beautiful saddle. And I don't know if you noticed, he had this beautiful Rawhide Rodeo red shirt on. And over one pocket it says BTC, and on the other pocket it says Parasite Systems.
Well, good for him.
You bet. So out representing. Of course, the American Finals Rodeo, that happened a few weeks ago. And officially, the International Professional Rodeo Association is that season has ended. Actually, right now, it is the start of the 2025 rodeo season. And that's kind of a little bit about what inspired us to do this podcast and a little bit of backstory. Sam and I have been talking about rodeo mindset probably since we met back 30 years ago. I remember traveling with Sam. We had left. I was in New Hampshire. He's upstate New York. We meet in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Bunch of us, the Canadians, we hauled down to, Greenville, South Carolina. And then we went from there to Greenville, Kentucky, and then all the way back home. And Sam, I don't know why this stands out, but it was on the final leg of headed, the drive back to Scranton. And it stands out because, believe it or not, you were driving.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Must have been snowing. They made me drive snow.
Is that what it was? And you know what? I wish I'd had a phone. I wish I had my phone with me. I wish I had a camera with me. Because most people aren't going to believe that. But I remember it, and I was sitting in the old brown van. I was sitting right seat. You're driving, I'm sitting right seat. And I remember that conversation. I remember that setting. And every time I think of these podcasts that we do, I think of riding right seat and the conversations we would have going down the road. And to have access to the kind of information we've learned, you and I have learned over our last 100 plus combined years of rodeo experience, to have had access or information or resources to be able to talk about the rodeo mindset. So First off, congratulations to all these guys, all the Cowboys, Cowgirls that qualified to the National Finals Rodeo. That's going to be coming up in January the 16th through the 19th. Lazy E Arena, Guthrie, Oklahoma. Time to prepare for the big stage, sharpen your skills, get your mindset ready for success. And Sam, is it fair to say that's one of the big motivators for us to get this podcast series put together?
Yeah, it definitely is, because you'd like to, if it helps somebody out there, it's well worth doing it. And remember, it's a new year also, folks. So get your head screwed on straight and think about what you want to do and get your goals ready and go win.
That's exactly right. And we're going to encourage, part of this podcast series is we're going to encourage you. We may actually do an episode on it, Sam, how to get together your 2025 rodeo performance conditioning schedule. Plan. You know, what is it? You don't plan to fail, but you don't. What is it? I'll have to go find that one. Something about plan to fail and failing to plan, and nobody plans to fail, but they fail to plan. How about that?
There you go.
Okay. And we know goals, and we know the importance of goals and that sort of thing. So today we're going to continue our 3 R's podcast series. Sam, what's the 3 R's again?
Rodeo, racing, and wrestling.
Wrestling. And of course it is, we've called it Quiet Enough to Ride. It is the rodeo mindfulness, really, is where we're headed to. And Sam, as always, on this rodeo series that we put together, this podcast series, we want to dedicate it to the teachers, the coaches, and the mentors.
Yes, that's just the work that they do, and 90% of the time goes unnoticed. But
you bet.
That's it.
And we're hoping this can help them too, right? This series, help the teachers and the coaches and the leaders that are out there, the mentors that are out there for sure, and maybe totally spark a whole bunch of thought for these folks, these Cowboys, Cowgirls that are driving down the road, and maybe spark some conversation between the driver and the team that's hauling together and the crew, if you will. Wouldn't that be cool if we could get some folks talking about this? So we're going to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just said yes, it would.
Yes, it would. Cool. This reminds me when we're driving down the road. Every so often, I had to stop so you could say something.
Not very often.
Not very often. You always wait and go. At some point, he's got to breathe. So, and that's what good transition. Oh, did I do that one or you do that one? The transition, because today
you did it.
I did it because
good transition, Doug. Great.
Because we're going to be talking about breathing, right? We're going to be talking about breathing, and I know in the last episode we said we're going to talk about presence. That is still coming. But just looking kind of the order of events, and Sam, this evolves minute to minute, this podcast series. Certainly we've done all the research, all the study and everything, pulled everything together, but I got to thinking before we talk about presence and how one might work towards being more in the moment, I thought, we ought to talk about breathing, because breathing is such a large part of that, such a large part of the competition, the preparation. When we talk visualization, Maxwell Maltz's concepts, we definitely want to talk about breathing. So we're going to do something a little bit different, but you guys can stand by. The presence conversation is going to be coming, I think, in the next episode. So, I remember, and breathing is one of those important aspects. We just said that. And another important aspect, and it's how things stick with you, Sam, over the years. I remember I went to a Lyle Sankey rodeo school in Ballston Spa, New York. Must have been 1992 or 1993. And I remember him talking, he got into injury conversation, and for whatever reason, things stick in your brain. And he said, if you get injured, it's all about RICE, R-I-C-E, rest, ice, compression, and elevation. And just like that, things stick. And we hope that this breathing is one of those things that will stick with folks. It's super important. And breathing is one of those things, Sam, we do it every day. Of course, we don't think about our breathing because we just breathe, right? But when used deliberately, our breathing, it becomes a tool that can help us relax, focus, and perform at our best, especially in high-pressure environments like the rodeo arena. And postseason play, Sam, as we head to the International Finals Rodeo, they're headed to the big stage. And we think about the cowboys and cowgirls that are going to be on TV tonight and the big stage there. So it'll be, just to put it into context, I think we're going to see just how important breathing really is. And you played those big stage and big events, North America Rodeo Commission, where you start with, how many bronc riders did you start with there?
There was over 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you won it twice. Do you remember that being what you would define as a big stage? I mean, important and challenging and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, it was real big to me because I was second a whole bunch of times, and finally when I won it, it was good.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay. Excellent.
First is much better than second, folks.
And breathing, you probably focused on your breathing those 2 times you won. And we're going to, we Sam, as much as anything, we want to give the reason why as we talk about these concepts. So here's why we believe breathing matters in rodeo. Rodeo's fast-paced, high stakes. We just talked about that. Whether you're preparing to burst out of the chute or lining up the perfect roping throw, pressure can feel overwhelming, and that's where breathing comes in. So think about when you're stressed or nervous. The way our breathing responds is our breathing becomes very shallow and rapid. This triggers the body's fight or flight response. And that floods us with adrenaline and a little bit about fight or flight. When we get into a situation that's tough, our body, the way we are prehistorically built, it goes into, back when we were caveman, we see a saber-toothed tiger, it triggers us, we need to get moving, okay? That adrenaline is natural. It comes to get the motor running. However, that adrenaline can make it harder to focus. So whether I'm going to fight, stay and fight, or whether I'm going to take off running, we want to make sure that we can do that and stay in focus as we're doing it. But by controlling our breath, we can calm our nervous system. We can sharpen our focus. We can reduce the muscle tension. So that's muscles. One of the biggest muscles we have in our body is our jaw muscle. And it's amazing. And this is something I want our listeners to contemplate. When you're under tension, do you clench your jaw? Do you grit your teeth? And that's tension. And that takes energy, and that's tension. And that tension moves throughout our whole body. And we're going to talk about something in a few episodes called FISB. And that's kind of the electrical schematic and the wiring system of us. When I think I'm under danger, my body responds. Okay? And what can happen is now I've lessened my intake oxygen, so my muscles aren't getting fed the way they need. My brain isn't getting fed the way it needs. So by controlling our breath, we can reduce that muscle tension. We can boost the oxygen flow to our brain and to our muscles for better performance. So not just reduce the tension, but let's get things flowing, get the blood flowing, get where it needs to be. And we can consider breathing in the high anxiety situation like hitting a reset button. And it brings us back to the present moment. We're going to talk about presence here in a little bit, and helps us to stay grounded. So when we talk about grounded, and we may get into some recalibration techniques, but when we talk about being grounded, I'm saying it from the electrical system, like your electrical system in your house, your wiring in your house is all grounded, which means it goes to earth. So when we put 2 feet on the ground and we focus, we are pulling the groundedness up through us. And that's how we can recenter. And breathing is a huge part of it. When somebody says get grounded, it's like grounding the electrical system, which it needs to have to be able to operate and perform properly. So, how does breathing help us perform better? Let's break it down. Controlled breathing can help us in 3 ways. Number 1, relaxation. Deep, steady breathing helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, our body's natural rest and digest mode. This counteracts stress and brings us into a calm, focused state. So number 1 is relaxation. Number 2 is focus. By concentrating on your breathing, and here's the trick. You're redirecting your mind away from distractions and into the present moment. So what this says is, my mind's going 200 miles an hour. And if I sit there and say, I'm going to focus on my breathing, and we're going to do an exercise here in a little bit that's going to bring this home. You're going to see I can't focus on my breathing, truly, intently bring the attention and focus on my breathing. I can't do that and my mind and think of all the other things. If I'm truly focused here, I can only bring the spotlight to one area. So we're going to see if that goes and if that makes sense. And this focus is crucial when you're about to make a ride or make a high-pressure run. And then finally, number 3, energy regulation. Proper breathing ensures that your muscles and brain get enough oxygen, which improves endurance, which improves reaction time, and overall performance. And remember, our job is to get in that automatic mode, so we want to make sure that we're relaxed, we have focus, and we have energy to roll. So I want to talk a little bit, Sam, about practical breathing techniques for rodeo. And here's some techniques you can practice. And let me say this about practice. And Sam always talks, Sam, about how important practice is before you get into the actual event. So this is something we can practice. So when you're standing in the back of the buck and chute, you can do this because you've done it before. It isn't, oh, wait a minute, I got to think about how to do this. No, it's going to be, if we practice enough, somebody might say, dude, you need to breathe. And I'm like, oh, yep, you're right. And I'm going to drop in and I'm going to run my practice. And you're going to see, we're talking about 20 seconds probably in total. 20 seconds in total to do this. The first one, Sam, we're going to do is called box breathing. Box, B-O-X, breathing. Box breathing is a simple technique used by athletes, performance, and even Navy SEALs to stay calm under pressure. So how do we do it? I want our listeners, keep your eyes open. If you're driving, 2 hands on the wheel. Relax best you can, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be stepping you through this process, and it is, I'm going to have you inhale, and I'm going to count to 4, and you're inhaling that entire 4 count. You're then holding your breath for my 4 count, You're exhaling slowly for 4 counts, and then you hold your breath again after you exhale for 4 counts. So I'll step you through. I'll do the counting. I'll give the instruction. Okay? So get in a comfortable place. Pay attention. Relax. Focus on my voice. And I want you to really, really focus on your breath. So, first time through. Inhale deeply for a count of 4. And it's inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly for 4, 3, 2, 1. And now hold your breath. Do not inhale. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do it one more time, and I want you to focus. And while you're doing it, focus on my voice. And while you're doing it, I want you to feel the air come in through your nose. I want you to be aware of the temperature. I want you to feel it as it comes in. And one thing that really helps on the breathing technique, we as human beings, after we are no longer babies and youngsters, when we start to become aware of how we look in public, we change how we breathe. As youngsters, toddlers, and young kids, we actually breathe by poking out our belly. We breathe by poking out our belly. So when we expand, we're going to expand our belly. As we get older, we do everything up in the chest. Well, that's not filling us up. So let's do it again. And this time, if just tell whoever you're with, do not make fun of me, or better yet, have them do it while you're doing it. And keep your eyes open, 2 hands on the wheel. And this time I want you to just open up your belly, focus on my voice, feel the air, the coolness, the warmth, whatever it is, as it flows into your nostrils. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Inhale deeply. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slowly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold your breath. Do not inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So it's called the box because it's 4 sides. Inhale, hold your breath. Exhale, hold your breath. And you want to repeat this cycle a few times to center yourself before competing. And you can see it's about 20 seconds each cycle. So really easy to do a minute's worth of breathing. Sam, were you able to do that and follow along the way I instructed?
Yeah. Thought I was going to pass out one time, but no, it was good.
And any effect? I mean, how would you describe an effect?
I don't know. I'm relaxed right now.
Good. Perfect.
I don't know if that's what you're supposed to be. I don't know, but I'm relaxed. So.
Absolutely. Well, let's go back and say, why do we breathe? So earlier I said, number 1, relaxation. Nailed it. Number 2, focus. Number 3, putting more energy. So we're talking about energy regulation and, quite frankly, energy replenishment. So that's one example of how we can do it. And we can practice this, guys, as we're sitting at our desk at work. We're standing on the line putting something together. We're working in a workshop. We're cutting hair. Whatever we're doing, we can practice this. Nobody around us even needs to know. And I would suggest you put this breathing practice, because we're going to do one more here in just a little bit. Put this into your performance plan. And how to use this. So imagine you're a bull rider in the chute waiting for the nod. Instead of letting nerves take over, you use this box, 4 count, 4 count, 4 count, 4 count. You use that box breathing to calm your heart rate and focus on the ride ahead. You do it standing behind the buck and chute. You do it anytime you feel the energy coming up where you're nervous, you're jittery, you're anxious, you're worried, whatever it may be. And the trick is you focus on your breathing. You feel your belly open up. You feel the air come into your lungs. You focus on that. And at the time while you're doing that, you, as I said earlier, you can only bring your attention to one thing at one time. And that is, if you're focus on breathing, you don't have all the other stuff that's running around in your brain. It kind of gives you a bit of a break, okay? Here's another technique that we're going to do. This is called a 4-7-8. Now, this technique is great for slowing down your racing thoughts and relaxing your body. So this could be, I'm running in, I just realized what I got for a draw, the rodeo's tonight, I got a lot of stuff happening, I got bills to pay, I got people to call, I got rodeos to enter, I got money to follow up on, whatever it may be. So here's how we're going to do it, and I will do the count. So as you inhale through your nose, we are going to do that, and you're inhaling the entire time. Do not stop inhaling for 4 counts. You then are going to hold your breath for 7 on my count. 7. And then you are going to exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. And you're dumping everything, so plan ahead, but you're dumping everything. You're dumping all of your air. You're probably pushing more air out than you ever thought you'd taken in, and the whole time you are focused on your breathing as we do it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to inhale through your nose. So begin your inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it one more time. 4, 7, 8. 4, 7, 8. Inhale through your nose. Feel the air come in. Don't forget to poke out your belly while you're breathing. Inhale through your nose. Inhale now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and complete. Sam, what'd you think of the 4-7-8 breathing technique?
Well, I was just wondering if you heard me snoring or something.
Did you? You got that? Okay. Okay. So take it more relaxed. And when you have to focus on my voice and your breathing, what's happening to your mind?
You're just thinking about that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So what we're proving is, and this is the beauty of doing this exercise, we're proving that our mind doesn't have to run all the time, quite frankly. And during this, we're actually giving ourselves, as I said earlier, a little bit of a break. So that's one. So we got the box count, 4, 4, 4, 4. We got the 4, 7, 8 breathing. And Sam, I could imagine doing this if we got our crew together, I'd be like, and I'm driving, I'd be like, guys, Sam's going to lead you through the breathing. We're all going to practice our breathing as we drive down the road. So when you're going to use this, you're a barrel racer about to make your run. Instead of rushing into it, taking a moment to use 4, 7, 8 breathing to clear your mind, do your mental rehearsing, focus on your pattern. There's one more I want to do. Quick centering breath. Sometimes you don't have time for that full breathing exercise, even though it's about 20 or 25 seconds. And this is where a quick centering breath comes in, how to do it. And again, you're going to focus always on my voice. You're going to focus always on your breathing. And think of how the air comes in, goes down through your throat, down into your lungs. So you are going to take a deep breath through your nose, specifically through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold it for just a moment. And then exhale forcefully, really pump the air out. And as you're doing, let go, let your shoulders relax, let your jaw relax. You're letting go of any tension. If your arms are stiff, you're breathing the tension out. So let's try it. On my word, here we're going to go. So you're going to take a deep breath through your nose, filling your lungs completely, and then hold it. I'll tell you when to hold it, okay? I'm not going to count. So go ahead, fill your lungs completely as if you're going to go underwater. You might be under there for 2 minutes. Get all the air you can get through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Whatever your moment is, hold it. And then exhale forcefully with sound if you want. Letting go, let your arms relax, let your shoulders relax, let your neck relax, let your forehead relax. Exhale forcefully through your mouth. Pump all the air out. Don't forget to poke your belly out. I don't care. You're sitting on your horse. You got your beautiful Western shirt on. I don't care. People see that belly. Okay? Do it again. Take a deep, deep, deep breath in through your nose. Feel them like you're going to be underwater for the next minute. Hold it as long as you want and exhale forcefully through your mouth when you are ready. Letting go. Let it meld. Let it flow. Okay? Now the quick centering one, the one we just did, we should practice that as we go down the road too, just so we are in practice. But this might be the one where you back in the box right before roping, right before, just as you're backing your horse in and getting there, you take that centering breath to reset and ensure your mind and body are aligned for the throw. So that's some how-tos. You know, we got a BTC, we got a Beyond the Chutes Facebook page. I would love, Sam, for the community, the listeners, our rodeo community, to give us their comments, share their experiences. Which one do you like better? You like the box breathing, you like the 4-7-8 breathing, and always, you can use that quick centering breathing. But just like learn how to make a mark out, don't do it at the rodeo. Let's put it into our rodeo plan and rodeo preparation as we're going down the road, as we're working our jobs and all that. So there's a lot of mental benefits to breathing. And breathing isn't just about calming your body. It's also about clearing your mind. We talked about writing on a piece of paper all the things that you got going on so you can lock that safely in your glove box while you're at the rodeo. And when you get back in your truck, you can pull that out and reload your brain if that's what you want to do. It isn't just about calming the body, it's also about clearing the mind. When you focus on your breath, you're anchoring yourself in the present moment. When you focus on your breath, you are in the present moment. Here's why. The past. If you're replaying mistakes in your mind, breathing helps you let go of regret and move forward. And we know that if you're worrying about what might happen, that's in the future. Breathing brings you back to what you can control right now. Breathing is mindfulness in action. Remember we said, Sam, there's learning. I can give you theory. I can give you an idea. You can go, yep, I got it. Well, you haven't learned it until you've done it. So I'm going to encourage our listeners, our rodeo cowboys, cowgirls that are out there, put this into action. Let's cement this, anchor this into our minds, because you're going to find this is useful in those family holiday dinners when family stuff comes up. I know your family, Sam, while it's very large, everybody gets along, everybody agrees, everybody moves in the same direction, right?
Right, yeah. Uh-huh.
So maybe at Christmas dinner, you might do some of these breathing activities, but it's a way to quiet the noise, and the noise that's outside you, the noise that's inside you in your brain and what's going on. And it allows you to trust your training. You have trained for this. You are ready for this. And you get to respond to the situation with clarity and confidence. So, tips for incorporating breathing into your practice, into your routine. Here's some ways to make intentional breathing a regular part of your rodeo routine during practice, through the week, whenever you're driving, whatever. Practice your breathing techniques during training runs or rides, driving down the road, sitting in your chair at night, finishing up dinner, whatever it may be. This helps you build the habit so it feels natural during competition. I want to say one thing about habits. It takes 21 days to form a habit. 21 days. So I'm going to challenge you. This is why we put this on our calendar. And mark your 21st day. When you start the first day, mark it, count it down. Is it becoming a habit? Practice your breathing techniques during training runs or rides. Number 2, pre-performance rituals. We all have them. Incorporate breathing into your pre-performance routine. Whether you're in the chute or waiting your turn, setting your saddle, putting your bull rope on, getting your rope out of the can, saddling your horse, a few deep breaths can set the tone for success. Number 3, recovery moments. After a run or a ride, use breathing to recover quickly. It helps you process what just happens. It helps you cement what just happened and prepares you for your next challenge. Number 4, this daily mindfulness practice that we talk about. Spend 5 minutes each day focusing on your breath. And I'm going to tell you, it can be 2 in the morning, 2 at lunch, 2 at night, 2 before you go to bed. It's 5 to 10 minutes. The more you do, the more you cement this in, the quicker that habit comes. It's just what you do when your boss calls you in and says, we got to talk about your performance. And Sam, I've been in those moments. And there's times when I don't think I breathed the whole time he was chewing me out.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is going to strengthen your ability to stay calm and focused both in and out of the arena. And so let's put this into a real-world rodeo scenario. You're a tie-down roper, and the last time you competed, you missed your throw. As you line up for your next run, the pressure's on. Instead of letting the stress spiral, you take a moment to breathe. You use box breathing to calm your nerves. Remember, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold your breath for 4. 4 counts. Then take a quick centering breath before your run. And if you remember what that is, you're going to take a deep breath through your nose, fill up them lungs to bursting capacity. You're going to hold it for a moment. You're going to exhale forcefully through your mouth, letting your belly do what it needs to do because you're flowing all the tension that's in your body. It's going to flow out. And now, you're focused, you're relaxed, and you're ready to perform. Your body does what it's trained to do, what you have practiced, both through practice physical runs and visualization, and you can execute the run smoothly. Sam, how did we do?
Well, I think I'm interested in the feedback from the people because it's gotta help. It's gotta do something.
Absolutely.
And I'm waiting to hear how it calms them and gets them back at the task at hand. I think that's what it's going to do more than anything. Is get your back at the task at hand.
You bet.
Very interesting.
And it's like you see guys stretching. You see guys warming up, bouncing up and down, jumping jacks, right? You see them putting on their spurs, putting on their chaps. You see them rosin up, cleaning up, rosining up a bull rope, whatever it may be. Your breathing is part of that pre-performance routine. Okay?
Yeah, so that would be exactly what I was thinking. You wouldn't do it right as you're getting on. You do the pre-performance like the box breathe, then you might do the blowout right as you're getting on.
You bet. And it might be the last thing. You know, they're saying coming to you, and as you see him coming down the line, you've already measured your bronch rain, that you see him coming, and you do that. What was that? Was it 15 seconds of time? 20 seconds of time, to do that deep breathing. Let's pretend like we're going underwater for the next minute, and we got to hold our breath. And really, I don't care if people make fun of you. It might be fun enough to do that when you're powerfully exhaling, you have some noise you make. I don't know. But like you, I am curious, okay? I know what it does for me, and it takes 21 days to form the habit. So breathing is one of the simplest, yet most effective tools we have to relax, to focus, and perform at our best. It's a skill that connects the mind and the body. Remember what we say about skill. Skills can be practiced and improved. It's a skill that connects the mind and the body. It helps us stay present and in control, especially and even under pressure. Remember, use breathing to calm your nerves. Stay present by focusing on your breath. Incorporate breathing techniques into your routine to build consistency. Sam, in our next episode, we're going to be getting on with some more meat. We'll be talking about presence. And what is presence? Anything else, Sam, before we say goodnight?
Well, I want to thank you for that, Doug. Very interesting.
Perfect. We'll let it all soak and away we'll go. So to our listeners, thank you for joining us on Beyond the Chutes. Until next time, keep breathing, stay mindful. We'll see you down the trail. And remember our BTC, our Beyond the Chutes Facebook page. If you aren't a member, get on there. Be a follower. We're always looking to grow that community. We post all of our episodes up there. This whole podcast series is going to be there, kind of a home base. And leave your comments there. If you want to send us an email with your thoughts, you can do that at doug@beyondthechutes.show or sam@beyondthechutes.show. Those are our email addresses, or you can instant message me on Facebook. I'm always, number one, interested in feedback and always interested in good conversation about these techniques and what we're doing. So until next time, keep your focus sharp, your confidence strong, and we'll see you down the road. This is
Sam Swearingen
and Doug Simcox. Thank you for listening.